Hi, everyone. I want to say good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As we begin this sixth session, I want to encourage each one of you to be upbeat because we are still on the journey of entrepreneurship. This journey of entrepreneurship, we started at the beginning of the semester. And as you know from the calendar and the schedule, which was shared some times back, I'm sure you saw that the semester has been moved a little bit into August. This semester will be ending about mid-August because we had 2 weeks of examinations. There were cuts, and then the other week that followed last week, specifically, there were examinations for the January-April semester. So from now onwards, as we move on, we are looking at, start sharing. Let me share this. Yes. Now this. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, as we continue, I want to say that as we continue the semester, I believe that everything is okay and is in place, and you must be enjoying your studies so far in terms of the new approach of learning. Any comments so far? Anybody wants to comment on this? Please, you are free to comment. Thank you. I'm waiting to hear from you. Comments? Any comments so far? Not getting anybody so far, but you can write, of course. Any comments so far as regards the course? Comments? Let's hear from you. Comments regarding the progress so far. Progress of this course. Comments regarding the progress of this course so far. No, we cherish your comments because it helps us to improve in our delivery system. I hope all of us are on board and we're continuing well. Those who are still doubting, I want to encourage you to tell your friends, wherever they are, that we are going on. The train left the station, and the ZTEC University is continuing in terms of ensuring that students learn and we deliver what we promise. We have promised to ensure that we encourage all of you, students who are registered with us and have come to ZTEC University, that they will not miss anything, but they will enjoy their learning, and at the end of it all, they will get the degrees, diplomas, and certificates, and believe that they can continue their lives. So I believe that's what we are doing, and that's why we have to ask you. If you have any comments so far, you please don't wait. Always the channels for communication is you type. There is a message to me, and I'll be reading. I'll be answering as we go along. You also have a mic with you. You can use your mic, and I believe that we can talk. I want this to be an interactive session because learning, I believe personally, is an interactive session between you, the students, and us on this end who are your instructors. And more so in this course of entrepreneurship, I believe it's a course that has a lot of things that each one of you can offer some kind of comment as we go along. So I see Mercy says the system is awesome and we have learned a lot and it's so interactive and we're expecting to learn more as we give back to the society. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mercy Ongoba. What about the others? I would want to also read from the others comments regarding the progress so far. Meanwhile, as we go along, I think just before us here, today's session is talking about business information systems. It's entrepreneurship and business information systems. As you saw in our course outline, we send you early in the semester, which you can still refer to it. So today, as we look at this, I have the picture for the day on the board here on the screen. And I want you to look at this a little more in details. What do we see here in this picture? Can you count the concepts that are indicated in this picture? How many are there? I want to read from you. Can you count the concepts you see in this picture? How many concepts do we see in this picture or in this diagram? Yeah, I've just presented this diagram that brings together a lot of information from related to entrepreneurship. So how many concepts? This is how many? Okay, let me type here. Just said concepts. Count the concepts. Count the concepts. So the other one did not count the concepts. You see, you can read. Count the concepts you can read from this picture. Let's see from you. How many concepts do we see here? Beginning from here, that one might be, this is mindset, I think. These are benefits. This is political ideas. Some may not be, whatever you can read. What you can read? Because the diagram might be a bit, it might not be very clear in some of the writings because of the color they have used. But I want you to count them. How many concepts we see here that relate to entrepreneurship? Maybe going to the slide ahead, I can bring this one on. Slide 3. The question is, the diagram for the day brings together key concepts in entrepreneurship. Count them. How many are they? Somebody got 28. Rebecca Kani, that's good. They are at least, that's good. You got the answer because they're at least 25. If you have anything below 25, you may not be able to say much. But yeah, Ndiko got 29. Wow, interesting. Mwasi 27. Wow. I can see there are quite a number of them that we can see, and they are all related to entrepreneurship. The next question that I want us to ask ourselves, if you can just go back to the slide again, 28, Hassan. Yes, thank you, Hassan. I go back there again. The question is, how many are they? Of course, the source is here. You see, we have capital, we have innovation. We have the mindset, we have funding, we have benefits, we have economics, whether it's venture, we have projects, we have new projects, of course, we have entrepreneur, we have entrepreneurship, we have business, we have creation, we have finance. Yes, Nyamwaka Bigingi, how are you? Yes, it's muted. Yes, we can see management, we see activity here, we see company, we see startup, and we see quite a number of organizations. All these are, and then social knowledge. All these are related concepts to entrepreneurship. And the question I want to ask as we reflect on this picture here is, how many? Yes, we've seen how many. Comment on each item, stating how they are interconnected. You may not comment on each item, but the question I want to ask is, how are they interconnected? How are these concepts interconnected? Maybe that's a question I should ask. How are these concepts interconnected? How are they interconnected? Anybody posted that? Send me the message. How are these concepts interconnected? Tell us something about it, because they are all concepts, but how are they interconnected? Just chemsha bongo a little bit to get us thinking about entrepreneurship. As this far, we're halfway, almost a semester, or slightly, just almost halfway. But how are they interconnected? Look at the capital. The startup is there. Entrepreneurship, the enterprise, business, management, finance, organization, social knowledge. How are they interconnected? I want to hear from you or read from you as we go along. These are all not new to us because we have come across them one way or another, and we'll be coming more. Right. Mwasi Ongoba, I think that's good. It's a good attempt. Yes, they are connected in regard to entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is at the center. Good. And you said venturing in business and investments. Yeah. Right. That's good. Good attempt. Let's hear from others. Let's read from others. Yes, Ndiku, there are concepts of business, structure, and plan. Yes, they are all together. The concepts of business structure. You look at the business, you got an organization. Yeah, there's an interconnection somewhere. Waiting for some more comments from you as we go along. And as I said, you have the forum. You can unmute your mic, and you're free to comment verbally. and we'll all be together. There are concepts of business structure. Yes, I'm waiting for some more before we move on, because we are looking at what connects them. Of course, you can see the entrepreneur. And you might say, yes, Hassan, entrepreneurship is interconnected with capital because they need entrepreneurs, need capital to start up their businesses. Yes, business ideas, right? Right. Idea is there. Entrepreneur, idea. Wow. Then you need resources. Yeah, including funding. And then you start your business. Start a company. You can register a company. Remember, we talked about you can register a company. It's a private company. You can start as a business organization of some sort. Yeah. Right? So they are all interconnected in one way or another. But the glue that puts them together is the entrepreneur. That is something that we don't need to forget in any enterprise. And then the entrepreneur does what? He practices entrepreneurship. One of the questions I'm sure you answered was, what is the difference between entrepreneur and entrepreneurship? Entrepreneur is the person, the individual behind the enterprise, whereas entrepreneurship is the practice that he carries out those activities, whereby he has to come with a business idea, innovation is there, creativity will be somewhere, and all that, and begin running his business. Entrepreneurship connected to capital, yes, Hashon. Yes, more messages below. I see here. Wambui Kamau, entrepreneur need capital to venture into business. Yes. Yagmaka Bikingi, when you add up all the concept, it brings up entrepreneurship. They have to exist in order to call that entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, all this, the entrepreneur, the capital, the ideas, all that run the business. Now, the next question that we had asked ourselves within this reflection is, we are looking at business information systems. And the question is, what is business information system? Are they related within ICT? These are concepts that we all have come across, I'm sure, at this stage, by this time. So we'll be looking a little more on what is business information system and are they related with ICT? Then, as you think about that, you may not answer it right now, but we're answering it as we go along. I want us to reflect more on B of this question, just as a way of thinking aloud. Business information systems, some of you will say computers, use computers, you use hardware, software. Yeah, ICT talks about communicating, and so on. Now, let's look at this question here. What, in your opinion, is the role of information communication technology to an entrepreneur by the name John Mamboleo, who owns and operates 5 supermarkets, located in the following towns or cities: Machakos, Nakuru, Nyeri, Meru, and Nairobi, this being the head office. So what, in your opinion, is the role of ICT in this? Some of you might say, but sir, we have not defined what ICT is. I want you to think about this question, and also you can reflect here, what, in your opinion, is the role of business information system to an entrepreneur, John Mamboleo, who owns and operates 5 supermarkets. Wow, very interesting entrepreneur here, running these supermarkets. What would be the role of ICT or BIS? That's a question that is going to drive our course, our session today. That we are looking at the various concepts regarding business information systems. And as we look at the various concepts on business information systems, we will be asking ourselves the question, how does it help or assist entrepreneurs? And when you look at our course outline, it talks about the role of BIS to SMEs. And we look at also the role of ICT. They are all cousins of one another. They're all related in a way. We'll see the difference. How they are doing what? How they are assisting entrepreneurs. And that's exactly what we'll be doing in this course today. And we're running through this so that we are able to see where we are. Now, the next item here, I want to go to shortly, stop sharing the webcam. I think, okay, zoom out. Yeah. Next item here is bringing in, I see, before we look at BIS, which I have on the board here, I'm going to reflect. I see some answers here regarding BIS and ICT. Mwasi Ngoma Business Information System related to IT infrastructure is a business enterprise to generate desired information. It helps in the growth of enterprise as the consumers are able to get the information clearly. Right. Mwasi, you've reflected quite well on that. And as we go along, let's look at this diagram before us here. Verse 1 is here. We are looking at the next slide, slide 4. We are having what we call a bird's eye view. From above, we are seeing what is business information system. And business information system, as we see it here, is really bringing together, first of all, business processes and business objectives are there. You must run an enterprise. Our example, John Mamboleo, he runs supermarkets. And as he runs his supermarkets in 5 different locations, he needs the information. The key word here is information. As an entrepreneur, he needs information to make decisions, whether to expand, whether to have a new location, whether to stop supplying certain products and to increase others. That's information that John requires. And you see, to get this information, he will have to have a system, a way of getting that information in an organized manner. And to get that, he needs hardware, he needs computers. Right now, as we are studying from a distance under this blended learning, you can see that you have your gadgets. Some of you are using the smartphone. Some of you have laptops. Malim, he has his laptop before him. He also has a smartphone. You need hardware. Then you need telecommunications. Yes. Who are bringing that information, these telecommunications? Either you are using fiber, like Malim here is using fiber, to get to access this information. You also, some are using Safaricom, and many other systems that are in place to assist you bring the communication, the information. Then you need the data. If it is a question of sales, the question of, just a second. If it's a question of sales, you need that information. Sales, or you need any other information regarding suppliers. You see, suppliers, customers, products. That's what you require. But you need the hardware. You need that hardware. You need a good system in terms of computers and software that is can assist you in sourcing products and goods wherever you are. And then, of course, you need a system. You need a provider, service provider, the telecommunication that provide that information. So the business information system is actually bringing together. You need the information, and you need to manage it in a way. This session, topic 6, runs us through what is business information system as an introductory topic, as a topic that it just introduces, because the area is so rich that we cannot do it in one session. But it gives you an introduction that assists you by giving the basics of what really is a business information system that an entrepreneur requires. John Mamboleo, as we said, is an example. He has 5 supermarkets. Even within one supermarket, like in Nairobi, where his head office is, he needs information of what's happening in all those other supermarkets. And he needs it on real time. We mean real time, mean that information that can be available at the just as per the moment he gets that information, sales, what's happening, and so on and so forth. What are stock that's needed. And he has people who will be running that. So this session is running us through this these concepts. And then to just answer some of the questions some of you have just asked you about, what's the difference between BIS, Business Information Systems, and Information Communication Technology, ICT, Information Communication System. I have here, it's just to pick this from one of the sources, and it gives us the difference. ICT refers to technology that provides access to information. Listen to that. ICT refers to technology that provides access to information through telecommunication. So we talked about telecom companies that provide telecommunication, but you see, you need the technology. Now, it is similar to IT, information technology, but focused primarily on communication technology. Communication. And then ICT has more recently been used to describe the convergence of several technologies and the use of data and communication types and formats. There are both positive and negative impacts of ICT society. I won't go into that. That's a lesson for another day about the role of ICT. But what I wanted just to distinguish is between BIS and ICT. ICT is technology provide access to information through telecommunications, whereas BIS brings in information. As we saw, it actually brings in all the information. The hardware, the telecommunication, the management, the data comes in, and then of course the business transactions come in. The difference is the business transactions, the sales, the buying, as we'll see shortly. That what are those business processes that use ICT? That's where we're going to. And unless there's any comment from anybody, I think we made a distinction. We asked ourselves what is the difference between BIS and ICT. And we've seen what BIS is, and we've seen what ICT is in the slide that is here. It is technology that provides access to this information. As I said, they are cousins, they are closely related. Some people interchange their uses and so on. Right, let's move to the next slide. The next slide brings us to now our home. It brings us home in terms of what are our objectives for today's lesson, for lesson 6 or topic 6. What are objectives? We just had an introduction in terms of where we are and what it is. But what is it that we are looking at today? And lessons for today, we expect to define what is BIS. That's, of course, very basic. What is BIS? We look at this a little more in details. And then we'll illustrate how the business applications of information systems can support a firm's processes, managerial decision-making, and strategies for competitive advantage. Again, we said here, a business must be able to survive. During this time of COVID-19, businesses' major thrust is how do we survive? Do we bust? That means do we close shop and go home and send everybody home? Or do we come with strategies that will be able to make us run and survive? So that's what it will defining. That's major about objectives here to look at what is BIS, how does it assist businesses to be competitive? The businesses that have competitive advantage are those ones who are strategizing, not those who are closing shop and going home. Maybe it's a strategy, but their strategy in terms of how do we go beyond COVID-19. Many businesses today are looking at post-COVID-19. What will be the new normal? That's what they are looking at. We as a university, your university, ZTech University, is looking at that. Look, we are doing this through blended learning, and we're already admitting students. You know, we have at least 1,900 of your brothers and sisters who did KCSE last year that are joining you in this university, great university. And so we are already working on ensuring that they are accommodated, they register, they get on board, and they continue learning as they pursue their lives. You know, going to school means you are pursuing your life, like you guys here. You're pursuing your lives. So you cannot stop because it's COVID-19. But there are ways, strategies of ensuring that the university is competitive, the organization is competitive. We're moving on. Even yourselves, you're also becoming competitive to your colleagues who are in other universities. You are studying, you are getting new systems, you are learning new concepts, and you are using smartphones, and you are using laptops, and you are using really information systems to be able to learn and be able to get information. This is exactly what it is even in businesses. So we are saying, and one of the objectives is to see how businesses can thrive using BSIS. We also will provide examples of several major types of information systems and outline real-world information systems, and also discuss the role and benefits of BIS to MSMEs. What is the role and benefits of business information systems to micro, small, and medium enterprises? Of course, we have not left behind the large enterprises, but we are there together, and we are also including the large enterprises. And as we continue the lessons for today, I would want to talk about this, a little bit about our quote for the day. It's really good to know the quote for the day. Eh? I love quotations because they are words of wisdom, and the words of wisdom help us to be able to. Sorry for that. Just a second, the small hitch here. I wanted to share this. Yes, I was saying that quotations are really good words of wisdom that will help us and help you as you go along life, because learning is lifelong, and learning builds on what others have already done in the past. So quotations, for your information, are wise sayings which have been made by people who are actually, in terms of, who are great thinkers or gurus in their own fields. So I've quoted one here from Edward Deming, who was a guru or a great thinker in total quality management. And this is what he said: a bad system will beat a good person every time. You know, it could be a good employee, but if the system is not good in terms of ICT or information technology is not well, then of course you cannot make it. In the same way as we talk about running an organization, that unless you have a good management system, you cannot get information on time. You could be the best manager, best CEO, best accountant, best finance director, but unless you have that information in terms of how the business is doing, then you are as good as a finished person, a failure in that case. So Edward Deming said this: a bad system will beat a good person every time. So we need a good system in terms of running your organization. So when you talk about business information system, we need a system that is able to meet the needs of your business. When you talk about the person we talked about earlier, John Mamboleo, who runs 5 supermarkets in Nyeri, Nairobi, Machakos, I think there's another town, Nyeri, we talked about that, and Meru. You know, he needs information. And if he needs that information, the system must be good to provide the information real time. Having looked at these objectives, where we are going, I want to welcome the new members who are here, who have just joined. John Amoke, Jacqueline here. I see Jacqueline, I see Jaika, I see Onyoni. Very good. Karibuni for this class. We continue. The train left the station about half an hour ago. Let's look at now in details each of these objectives. First of all, a system. What is a system? I wanted to define what is a system. And we say a system is a set of interrelated components with a clearly defined boundary, working together to achieve a common set of objectives. Hey, let's listen to that. It is they are interrelated components. Because when you talk of a system, interrelated components with clearly defined boundaries for each component, but they must work together to achieve a common set of objectives. That's what a system is. You've heard people talk loosely about the political system in this country or another country. You look at the system, doesn't work well. You have heard about this loosely talked about. But what does it mean? There are things that are interrelated. When we use now, when you come to the proper language of what a system is in business and IT and ICT, is that there are components that have, each one of them works differently, but they work together to achieve a common set of objectives. When you talk about analogy, I can use example like the circulation blood system in our bodies, biological, is example. The blood system, they call it blood system. What is interrelated here? The pump must be there. The artery should be there. The veins are there to make sure that the blood that is already from the cells is returning to the pump station, which is your heart. It's a system. Talk of the circulatory system. So if you can use that analogy, that there are components. There is the heart there, the veins there, the capillaries there, all those that are related, including the cells. Because the blood has to move from the pumped from the heart. Purified blood, of course, goes all the way through the various components of your body and gets to the cells. And from cells, taking, of course, the nutrients to the cells. And then from there, the blood that is already comes back into, is pumped back into the system to get oxygen and move around and around. So that's a system. But when we come to components like a computer system, let's look at, for example, finance. When you look at finance for a supermarket, one example like that of John Mamboleo we mentioned, or Tuskys, for example, Tuskys, you see at the point of sale there are those salesmen and women there at the point of sale. The system there is such that it picks up the price of the product and automatically it updates the records, and also it updates the records in terms of financial and so on. So it's a system. And then, of course, in the control office, head office, they can see what's happening and so on. So these are all but systems, interrelated components, clearly defined boundaries, working together to achieve the common goal of ensuring that everything's running well. Then we talk about a functional system, functions of a system. The system has inputs, has processing, and has output. We used to say it has inputs. That means information about the price of a product is a packet of unga. You know, otherwise you pass through this, again, using the example of the supermarket. When you are you are buying a packet of unga, you go to the till there, and the lady there or the gentleman there will take the packet of unga, swipe it through the machine, and you'll hear some noise there. And then when you make the payment, the receipt is also printed, you get your receipt, and your unga is given to you, packaged, and you go. So you see, that's an input. The information that goes into the computer is input for the sale of the packet of unga. And then there's the processing. It has to go to the main system where there is a processing, because there are many other sales going on. There are many other, maybe there are 5 or so points of sale where there are people also buying things and so on. So there is a processing. The center is a black box, we call it. And then the output is the receipt you get, and the output is also the statement that they generate, because the accountant who is in charge of the sales and that branch would need to get a report, the manager, and all those are outputs, and so on and so forth. So it's a function of a system, has inputs, processing, and output. Now, the information system is an organized combination of people. Now we talk of information. And this is people, machines, communication network, you know, data resources. What are the data resources? The input like prices, or number of employees. Policies, what are the guidelines that guide whatever you do in terms of the prices, in terms of refunds, if any. And then procedures that stores, retrieves, transforms, and disseminates information in an organization. Now, these are mouthful. You'll look at it slowly, that it's a system, it's a complete information system. Inputs are there, prices, people are buying, and then, of course, the processing of what has been sold and what has been generated in terms of revenue, and of course, reports in terms of what products have gone faster than others. And of course, as we'll see later on, when it comes to controlling of stock, it also tells us we have exhausted, or we're almost exhausting the unga. We need to buy some more if it's unga we are selling, or whatever product. So all that information is brought together under the information system. Now, examples of this, just mention one or two. Examples are, for example, smoke signals. You find that in the buildings, many buildings have these smoke detectors, catalogs in a library, daily planner, file folders, point of sale system. I have just explained about point of sale system here, and many other systems that we have, ladies and gentlemen, that we can talk about. Are there any examples of systems you can think about? Give us. Yeah, let's pause for a minute here. What are the examples? What are the examples of systems? What are the examples of systems, of information systems, Can you, what are the examples can you identify? In the course of work and the course of traveling here, what are the information system, information? Yeah. Just pausing for a minute. We talked about what information systems are here. What are the examples of information systems can you identify? I'm sure in the course of work, in the course of coming to school or going to school, in terms of registering and so on, just giving you hints. What are some of the examples you can give of information systems? We talked about point of sale in a supermarket, catalogs in the library. When you go to the library these days, you know, during our days, those olden days of they call it analog, we used to have cards. You go to a whole cabinet there and you thumb through the cards and so on to search for the book. But here you can do it directly. Yes, a good example, Nyamwage Bigingi, stock track system. Yes, you're tracking the stock. You would have said a little more Bigingi. You talk of stock track system. What is it exactly? GIS, what is GIS? We want you to explain a little more. And this is unfortunately what I found out with many students, that when you ask for answers, they will only give you one word. What we expect you to do is to write a little more, explain. When you talk about, for example, biometric system for entering a building, what do you mean exactly? How does it work? You know, is it controlling or what is it doing? You know, GIS, what does it do? So I would expect you, ladies and gentlemen, to say a little more in terms of that system. Yeah, but these are good answers. I want to say that these are good answers you're giving. Yes. Geographic information system to manage and analyze types of geographical data. Yes, you have done a little more, Mazi. Thank you. Yeah, GIS system. You can see the maps that we have today. You'll find that identification of key landmarks and so on. But this comes in very well when you're flying and doing many things. You can see or identifying even the land adjudication. You find people doing the land. They use the GIS system. Very good. That's a system. Anything else? Let's get from other members. JICA biometric system for entrance to a building. Can you say more, JICA? What does that do? Yeah. E.g. landmarks. Yeah, thank you. Yes, I mentioned that. Yes. So as you keep on typing this about the systems, you find that there are very many systems, not biological, of course. Biological, you can name the system in your body, but the other ones are different. We're looking at systems in business or in industry. You know, even manufacturing, biometric security system allows authorized persons to gain access to buildings for security. Very good, JICA. That normally is very common as we see it. Banonyoni, do you want to say something, Banonyoni?
No, sir.
Yes. Yes, Onyoni Mose, do you want to give us an example?
No.
Yeah, okay. Right. So thank you. There are many systems that are there today. You'll find now with COVID-19, it is going to bring in a new set of systems in terms of protocols, you see, and some of them are smart. I saw some new innovations. We'll be talking about them later, time allowing, that people are now coming up with a new system of identifying and tracing the positive cases. You can see that. They can trace you using your ID, wherever you are. There are really innovators coming up with this, which is very interesting. And I want to challenge all of us as entrepreneuring, as students in your disciplines, what innovation do we want to come up with? What system that can help us? And you can see there will be a lot of systems, even when we come to processing data with a new approach of doing things. Yes, so there are many systems that we can think about, and we'll be coming through this. Even systems like transport system, traffic, for example, where you are controlling traffic systems, system that controls traffic. You see traffic lights in Nairobi and other big towns, whereby there is a control of lights, green, yellow, and it's green, yellow, and red. You see, there's a system that does that. A good example, and so on. All right, as we go along, then I want to move the next slide. Let's listen to the comments, but keep your answers coming. I see Leah mentioned something about GPS trackers, location of technology, gadgets, and phones, and so on. Right, I have before me slide number 8. Number 8, you have the role of information systems in business. And this slide here will give you more or less, let's see, this slide here will give you more or less, as you see, it's pyramidical in approach. Pyramidical in approach. And as you can see from the beginning here, to make it larger, you can see it a little larger here. I'm enlarging it a little bit for you to see so that we are able to see it well. Yeah, right. You can see it well there. I hope you appreciate that I'm enlarging it a little bit so that you are able to see properly. Right. So as we see here, this is really talking about the BIS. And it's talking about its pyramidical nature. As we see from down here, what are we doing? We are talking of business support processes. Business support processes. There are processes that go on every day. Let's go back to our example of the supermarket. What processes are there in the supermarket? Give us some examples of processes in the supermarket. Yeah? Give us examples of routine processes or processes that are common in a supermarket. Talking about business processes of business, give us examples of business processes, not just other processes, but business processes common in a supermarket. Give us examples of business processes that are common in a supermarket What are they that are very common? Yeah. What are those processes that are common in the supermarket? Do share here and say, do this. Yes, examples. Anybody? You're free to either say directly or you are free to type. Give us examples of business processes that are common in a supermarket. We are using the supermarket, which we used as an example at the beginning, so that these are business processes and operations. They use that term. What are they? Routine, continuing daily, and every minute. When you go to supermarket, for example, I'm sure all of you, maybe a few only, have been to a supermarket, large supermarket. What do you see there if you are to get to the supermarket and just observe? What do you observe there? Yeah, I pose that question. Examples of business processes or operations that go on. I'm waiting for some responses. Either you can say directly, or you can be able to tell us either directly or something, yeah, or type. Yeah, Belinda Onyango is typing. What about the others? I want to hear from others as well. What is it? Ladies and gentlemen, this is an interactive session and we expect you to say something at least. Belinda Onyango, you want to say something, Belinda? Hello, Belinda, I see you there. Okay, while Belinda is still thinking, what about Alex Thiongo? Alex, you want to say something? Yes, Cecilia Mwangi. Cecilia Hassan Odhiambo. Yes, Hassan. Or anybody else. Let me open it up. Anybody else who wants to say something, please. We are asking the question, give examples of business processes that are common in a supermarket. And that is where we are in the base of this pyramid. You know, support processes and operations. This is an example. You give us some of them. More solution answers below. Yes. Procurement processes. Yes. Arrangement of goods in the shelves. Yeah. Procurement, point of sale system, relationship interaction, customers. Right. I see answers there. I see some of you. Yes. These are processes that go on. If you are to watch the supermarket, there are those who are in the shelves arranging. There are those who are taking stock. They are ticking. They have a file and they're writing things on them, ticking stock. There are those ones who are point of sale. Yeah. Massy input to data to computers regarding the day-to-day sales. Yes, day-to-day sales are going on. Logistics, transport process. Yes, you're bringing in, you are distributing or you are receiving goods, right? Cashier services. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, right? So, okay, keep them coming. Now, what we see here is those are operations. And then the decision making comes in. If you look at stock, for example, logistics, Joram has mentioned something. Yeah. Transport, for example. If customers today with the COVID-19, you'll find that people don't want to go to shops directly. And now supermarkets have come up with a smart way of capturing customers or of retaining their customers by saying, instead of you coming to us, you can order online. What do you want? You may order from your common supermarket. If it is a Taskies, you'll see there, you can send in your information through, of course, communication information system. You'll type in, either send an SMS or type in and say, I want a packet of Omo, 500 grams. I want, let's say, sugar to 10 kilos. You can list all those items. And then once you list the items, it will ask prompt you pay. Then you pay by M-Pesa or whatever. You send the money. And then what they do is a supermarket, what will they do? They will now take that order and begin processing it. They'll take your order, process it, and then deliver it. Logistics come in here. So the system is going on to receive the order. Then, of course, they picking the items from the shelves that have been ordered, packaging them, and then delivering them, because you also indicate the delivery address. And that is happening today. So decision making comes in. The decision making can be to purchase. Can we buy more of this? Stock out is coming soon. People are taking more of sugar. So we need to order more sugar from you don't have in the store. The documents will, of course, the reports show how much is remaining and how often do people use your sugar. So you need to make a new order. knowing, of course, the number of days it takes for it to be delivered, and so on. And then the competitive strategies for competitive advantage at the top. This also reflects the levels of management for information. The lower level here are actually people, lower level managers and workers on the file, yes, workers. The people who are selling, dealing with sales, people who are dealing with them at the point of sale, people answering questions, frontline workers. All these are a frontline team dealing with the customers day-to-day basis, on a minute-to-minute basis. And then these ones are managers now at the store level. You may have a section head, a supervisor, or a manager for each division. It's purchasing division or the manager of the shop floor. And then you have also some managers. You have a manager dealing with the retail part of it. You have another one dealing with any other divisions in the supermarket and so on, depending on how large it is. Here is the top. This is actually the CEO and his team. They are looking at now with the COVID-19, for example, how do we survive? How do we ensure that our customers will be loyal and will satisfy and meet their needs? So they need information to make decisions here. What do we do? Can we use this approach of we deliver? Decisions made at the top here for delivering, delivering goods direct home delivery, or decision to shut or close some departments or to reorganize some departments. Decisions are made here for the purpose of competitive advantage. And that only comes in because from below here, the information as it reaches in the reports form and so on, specific reports, of course, decisions are made at that level. So as you can see here, is pyramidical in nature, reflecting the various levels of management. Managers at every level make certain decisions. If I may pause for a minute here and ask ourselves the question here. I see some answers here. The upcoming payment process for customers, purchase, and so on is a question we had asked earlier. The question we had asked earlier was about examples of business processes. Look at those. Of course, arrangement of goods and shelves going on. Procurement is going on. Yes, there's a department of procurement. Where do they get information, for example? Procurement. They get information from the floor here. As an item is sold, for example, if we use an example of if a packet of Omo, 500 grams is sold, and there might be others different as people are buying, you'll find that the records are updated automatically. There is real-time recording, which informs or triggers the people in purchasing or procurement department to see on a real-time basis what items are going faster and what is remaining in the store, because it updates the store records. And that's why. So when one of you said procurement, that's very interesting. It's a real area for a business information system, because for a supermarket or any other institution, procurement is key, and you'll find that it really uses business information system very, very much. A point of sale, yes. Brian, good relationship with customer interaction, yes. Mercy and mentioned input to computer regarding the day-to-day sales, yes. Day-to-day sales, we mentioned that. It actually goes to like day-to-day sales would go to purchasing, go to finance, would go also to other departments, so that you can see that the report reaches the key departments in an organization, so that they are able to make real-time decisions as a going concern. Logistics, Jeremy mentioned about that, purchasing and distribution and so on. I gave an example the other time of pizzas. I hope nobody here salivates. You didn't talk about pizza delivery. Very interesting, where you can order directly by a phone. They give you pick a phone, call us. When you call them, the person receiving the phone enters the data information. You can also do it by SMS. SMS, I want 5 pizzas of this size from a Pizza Hut. And what they do is they receive that order and they'll process it. And when they process it, they take it to the chef who is making them. And then, of course, when they are ready, they are packaged. And then the dispatch department, they use motorcycles within the city, of course, within normal range of this distance. Now they'll dispatch it very quickly. So just say they tell you 5 minutes. 15 minutes, 5 is too unrealistic. 15, 20 minutes. 15, 20 minutes time, you see somebody ringing the doorbell or knocking on your door. Yes, you are so and so. Here is your delivering you your pieces, and you pay. See, it's very interesting. So, and then of course, other transactions taking place is as you pay, normally you pay by M-Pesa or whatever. They normally pay before they deliver because people can be messy also. So as you pay, it's directly the finance people get the report about the payments that are done at every minute, because there are many things happening, or every second. And then, of course, the people who are making the pieces will make the pizzas or the products. The packaging is there. Packaging materials are available. And then the distribution, the fellows distributing are out there with their motorcycles or vehicles to distribute the products to different locations. That will happen. And that's a lot of transactions taking place, by the way, if it's a medium to large scale kind of enterprise. That there are so many things happening that that information is needed, and is needed at every level. Transport is there, cashier services, amounts coming in, and the banking also automatic. Sometimes the banking is automatic also, and so on. Especially you are doing the online finance payments, it automatically goes to their bank account, and you can see that some people are already following up in the organization or the finance division what is happening in our bank accounts real time. You can see that happening. Packaging, yes, packaging commodities, that's part of it, and so on and so forth. So we said all these transactions at the support level, at this point of level, there are sales. Here are the decision level. These are middle-level managers. You may say a person in charge of procurement division. He is a key person there, and he has a team of work, a team of clerks, or a team of officers who are actually getting information real time. And then it tells you about the stock, because these would be, if it's procurement, is also tied to the stores, knowing under the stores and the warehouse, knowing how many of these products have been sold, how many are remaining, when do we make an order next. That comes because you have to make an order to keep the business running. Otherwise, without that, you'll have stock out, and stock out means customers are frustrated. If I pause here for a minute and ask the question, how many of you have been frustrated? You go to a supermarket and you go in there, there's an empty shelf. What is the first reaction that you have? Of course, you are frustrated because you went to that shop or that supermarket to buy that product. If it is sugar, for example, I'm using this quite often, sugar or whatever else, and you go there, the shelf is empty. You are frustrated, and there's anger also. Sometimes you may event anger on the salespeople there. Say, look, you people don't put signs here that you're selling and don't sell this. Make sure that you have the product. And so that's a frustration for customers. And that's what a manager will guard against, to ensure that they supply the products they have promised to supply. And so information has to flow from the point of sale, then it comes directly to the desk of the dealing with stores, to ensure that what we have, we need to place a new order, so that we don't have a time when customers will be frustrated. Of course, up here, information that goes up here to the CEO and the senior management is what's happening on a daily basis. For example, if I may give you an example here of the university. With us at the university, the operations are the frontline team, the marketing team. As there's a team that's marketing, admissions, records, that information going on all the time. Students are inquiring, they are registering, and so on and so forth. That information. And then there is the section heads or the departmental heads. The finance team is there. Of course, out here we have the accountants, the finance team here, finance, cashiers, and so on. Here we have the managers, middle-level managers, who are looking at the transactions. How many students have been billed? How many have paid? How many need to be reminded? That kind of. I'm sure some of you are being reminded of your fees already. Please, if you have not paid fees for the semester, make sure you pay. I would encourage you to do that, because that's responsibility. So in that case, you'll find that the managers here, the middle-level, the finance guys, are looking at what's happening. The managers, how many students have been billed, what's the balance, and so on. So, and dealing with the reconciliation, also the bank. The bank accounts, that kind of thing. And then at the top here, we have the management. There's a team of management led by the CEO, the BC, and there's a team of 9 members in management, DVCs, the finance, and operations, and academic, and the registrars of registrar, and the whole team up there that deals with the data, with the competitive advantage. How are we doing? Reports that come from the middle-level managers, comes from the heads of departments, end up with the management to make decisions. How are we doing in terms of when are we opening, when we need to do exams? These are the times of exams. Yes, decision is made. What kind of support do the managers at this level require? And these managers also look at what kind of support the team down here, the front line, need. So there's all sort of information flowing forwards, backwards, and forwards. That's why you see these arrows pointing up and down and passing through, going direct to senior management, and some of it coming down to all these levels. So as you see, this is an information system. And this information system is more or less applicable in any organization, be it a service organization, like we at the university, we are in the service industry of providing education and so on, and training, or be it an organization like a supermarket or a manufacturing firm, whereby you are manufacturing goods and services and selling them, or in transport. So this is more or less a standard kind of and to say it's a standard template that shows what happens. There is a front line dealing with day-to-day, minute by minute, and there is a middle level who are making decisions, saying what we need. We need to have new shifts, for example, if it's productions, manufacturing, and we need new shifts and so on and so forth, and so on. And then the decision up here of how do we move as an organization to higher levels and so on and so forth. Any comments on this before we move on? I want to hear any comments, please. Any comments? Yes. Any comments so far? The three levels. There is a front line, which is not really support, but there are key people. By the way, these are key people. When you enter the university, for example, or go to any place, hospital, God forbid, you go there for sickness, but visiting and so on, you find that you get the front people. Banking hall, you find the front people. They tell us there, front people who actually receive you. You get your banking. You are either withdrawing money or banking cash. They're still dealing with cash transactions. They will receive your cash. They will give you a receipt. They will update your account. And then, of course, there are section heads and managers who are seated either behind there in some of the banking halls, the front line, and then there's supervisors sit behind them. They have their desks behind, or there are offices that are separate. So that's going now. So that they are there every day listening to any issues, customers have any problems that need to be addressed, or they are seeking for some information that's needed. In the front, there is also information desk, by the way, whereby information is there to deal with any other day-to-day transactions come and they record. And these days when they record, they use, of course, the ICT. You type in the computer, search your account, get the information, input it, and then the people at the next level here are making decisions they have to make. If I may pause here for a minute, there are times when you are cashing a check, for example, although now we are moving to cashless society. But when you are cashing a check, you go to the counter, for example, put there your check, or if you are withdrawing money. And what happens is the frontline officers here, the tellers, will take your check, of course, will confirm that you have the account there, your name is correct, because you also give them your ID, and then they will mark on it and check the account if the money is there, and then pass it back to their supervisors to authorize the payments. Depending on the amounts of money. They go back there. The fellows here are the supervisors or middle-level managers. They will authorize the payments. And if there's any question to be asked, they will now, if there is anything you need to be asked as a customer, they will then usher you in to talk to them. Or else they will normally routine, they will sign it, and it's passed back to the teller, who will then look at it again to confirm that they are signed. The confirming, of course, then make the payments, you get your chapa, you sign, you get your chapa, and you go. What happens, the accounts are updated. The backroom information here is that the account of whoever was giving the check will be updated. And the managers here, the middle-level managers, whoever is in charge, will be looking at updating those accounts, assuming, for example, that there was not enough cash in that account. The check will come back, and you will not be paid. They will ask you maybe a few questions. If they are polite, they'll ask you that about the check and the source of the check. They will also ask you some more information, because they will polite. They will not tell you there's no money in the account, because that's rude. They will be able to tell you in a polite way that maybe refer to the drawer. They use the words RD, refer to the drawer, RD. Yeah? That means take back the check to the owner and find out if there's anything wrong. There could be signatures, or there could be no enough funds. Sometimes they would write there no enough funds, but they don't write directly. So in a polite way, so you find that these middle-level managers do a lot of work in terms of supporting and guiding and leading the front team. And of course, with the ICT now, smart, systems whereby the check is entered. They don't have to have the manager enough funds. The front office, the tellers in front, you can mark on the check and tell you, please refer the drawer, because it's something. They'll tell you they don't need to go back here because they have a smart system that shows if there's no, even signatures. You can also identify the type of signature. Maybe it's not correct signature, it's for the check or whatever, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, these ones, they may not reach at the top here, but the top here for more or less looking at the bigger picture in terms of competitive advantage. How are we doing? Are we serving our customers well? Are there any complaints that are coming in? By the way, there's always the compliments box where you can indicate if you feel you're not being served well, you can do that. And that information goes up to the management at the top here. Are there any compliments or complaints to our customers? What are we doing? And that kind of thing. So this is a system that works in terms of information system. And for information now, the information system is very crucial. If I may quote an incident here, way back a few years back, where the computers were not very common in the banks. Those days, the computer that was there was just to keep the records, but nothing much. There was no transaction taking place. So they used to have what they call the books, cash. You used to carry a pass for the bank that has your account, and they will check manually. You go to the records manually, they check, and they'll write there if their balance is there, they'll write for you the balance, and then you can now withdraw your cash. Very, very tedious and very, very time-consuming approach. So it was very, very difficult in those early years. You're talking of 70s and later earlier on. It's 80s when the computers came in the banks, and we came in to even use the cards, the smart cards we used to withdraw cash and so on. And these things have changed, by the way. Otherwise, it was very tedious because it was very manual. And so our information systems have made a difference in that decisions are made almost real time, and you get the information real time. If we may pause a minute here and look at, for example, the M-Pesa. You send money directly, as long as you have your account, and somebody receives money across the globe. Almost real time, and they withdraw the money, and they can do whatever. Or they can also send that money to someone else. So you can see that information system, the business information system, has really cut across all areas in terms of moving to ensure that things are much, much better. You can even pay for products, like you can order a vehicle from Japan or from Dubai, or a product from UK. And by going through the system provided, you go to the website, and they will guide you what you need to do, and your email also, and you order products. When you order product, you pay also by money transfer using various systems that allow you to move money from your account to the account of the vendor, and then they ship your products. And then the product next time, they will give you time, maybe 2 weeks time, the product reaches your office. That's it. Today, with Amazon, some of you have heard about Amazon, and I'm sure you've used Amazon. You can buy things, products, anything. Even Jumia now, you can buy any product in Jumia. And as long as you identify it, and you have the money, and you send the money, you follow instructions, the product will be shipped, and you get it at your doorstep. This is now what's happening. And there's a lot of transactions go on, because the people who receive that information, they are no longer, you can't see them physically, but if you are ordering, they will receive. The order will be received. The decision is made in terms of, is that product in or not? And they will, payment has been made, it's authorized by the managers, and then it's shipped directly. And any routine information reaches now the top for top managers in terms of how ourselves, are we doing very well, and so on and so forth. How are our competitors doing? That kind of information. I want to move on to the next slide, which is now talking about the e-business. When we talk about e-business, you remember we talked about buying things online, and e-business is exactly that. E-business is the use of internet technology to work and empower processes, e-commerce and enterprise collaboration within an organization here. I think this is not happening well. Let's see. Make it slightly larger, or make it slightly, there's a second. Yep, a little bit, yeah. The use of internet technologies to work and empower business processes, e-commerce, and enterprise collaboration within a company and within with its customer suppliers. Yeah, what it is saying here is that, in brief, is that you are empowered use of the internet technology to be able to transact businesses. And this is now common today with the COVID-19, where there's movement is restricted, and you also talk about movement is restricted. You also talk about distancing. You talk about cashless society, moving cashless. You know, what has happened is that this has become a real thing today. And many organizations now don't get into using cash directly. And when you don't use cash directly, it means you can now transact business without seeing the other person on the other side or interacting with the person. What only happens is money is moved, of course, through the banking, internet banking, whereby you move money. Now it's very, very small. The banks, not all, most of them, have now instituted what they call internet banking, where you can move your money from one account to another without touching or going to the bank. Same thing with the M-Pesa comes in. You can also move money from your bank account to M-Pesa and vice versa. And you can transfer this money to whoever you want to. So that has made it very, very easy, very convenient in terms of using the internet technologies to do that, e-business. We also have e-business online. It's an online exchange of value. Yes, part of it is really still e-business. Enterprise collaboration systems, use of software tools to support communication, coordination. All this is jargon that is common in the area of using business information systems. And these are things that you use. And then, of course, e-commerce is buying, selling, marketing, and servicing products. And this is what we are familiar with. But the business goes in further for other information, for more information, using technologies and so on. And e-commerce is what is very common, buying, selling online. Today, this is the real thing. And courtesy of COVID-19, with this negativity, it has also brought in a positive approach in doing business. This is what is happening. You buy goods, you sell goods, you even provide education, like what we're doing, e-education. What we are doing right now is in Germany what we call e-education, because I'm not seeing you physically. We can, of course, see you through this Zoom, which is there. We can do it through Zoom and through Moodle. And we can also, what we can do here is that you are studying. We are seeing the notes. I'm sharing with you my slides. And you are also commenting by giving information and feedback, and that's what I encourage you to do. So what we are doing is e-education. So education is happening. Even you, when you are paying for your fees, you don't have to go to the bank directly. Your parents or whoever is paying fees can do e-banking. Move money to the account of the university, the amount, and the name, the details you put in, and then the receipt money is receipted, and you receive your receipt on actually e-receipt. In this case, that's what is happening with e-commerce. So e-commerce has become more versatile and is actually incorporated what we call business information system. Then we have the role of e-business to an organization. E-business to an organization. Re-engineer internal processes and so on. You see, e-business, the role of e-business to an organization, it engineers internal processes. That's what is happening. The internal process in terms of your production, your manufacturing. Even now, when it comes to manufacturing, is no longer using the old system, manufacturing. Then its role is to implement the e-commerce system with the customers and suppliers. E-business implements, it engineers. It also promotes enterprise collaboration, business teams and work groups. So e-business touches all this. What are our processes, internal processes? If it's internal processes like, you may give an example, if the hotel, the hotel receives raw materials, they order raw materials depending on the customers and the kind of cuisine they offer. They will, the e-business will help them in terms of sourcing the suppliers, the big, large customers, receiving orders, and all this comes in terms of engineering, looking at the way we do business different. No longer you have to make a telephone call, you have to send an LPO. Those things are no longer, they're there, yes, but in a different way. Implementing e-commerce system. We talked about e-commerce, buying, selling. E-business does that. You can buy anything across the globe that is legal. across the globe, and it will supply to you. As long as you have the money, you have identified the supplier. Of course, here in business is trust, because the supplier will be somewhere in China, Shanghai, for example, and you'll buy goods from Shanghai. And what you do is you communicate with them. They will give you the website and who to communicate to. They'll also give you send your LPO online. They'll receive it and they will ask you for payment. Maybe you make cash in front or whatever terms they may use, policies. And then they package the product and they ship it to you. And they tell you in 3 weeks' time or 2 weeks or 1 week's time, you receive it through. That happens. So this is what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. That you see, e-business does that. It promotes enterprise collaboration among businesses. I want to pause there for a minute and ask a question here. Yeah? What are your comments? What other roles? Other roles as e-business perform in society? Let me use society. I'm opening it more, just business. What other roles does e-business perform in society? Let's keep the reading from you. If you want to say something, and pick your mic and let us know. Yes? Pick your mic and let us know. All right. So, gentlemen, keep your responses coming. Keep your responses coming. What other role does e-business perform in society? We've seen this in engineering internal processes, but you can go further. Which processes? If you want to give an example, or implement e-commerce system with the customers. What is it, the e-commerce that you want to? And pick any of those examples there. Or promote enterprise collaboration among businesses. What else can you say? Mercy, thank you very much. Facilitate the exchange of information, goods and services and payments, right? That's what it does in society, right? Even the political system, you can see that. You can see e-business. Yeah. Anything else? I'm here waiting. Yes. What else? The question is, what other roles does e-business perform in society? We've said internal processes. When you look at internal process of a company or a business, if it is in manufacturing, you can see the process from manufacturing, receiving the orders, sending suppliers, delivering, manufacturing, R&D, all those. Yes, I see Diego said, else is delivery of goods and services. Yes, e-business do that. And they talk of commerce. Yeah. There encourages innovation and provides wide base for creating employment. Yes, e-business does that, because now you're getting smarter approach. And Brian, reduction in paperwork, hence the less storage space. Yes, now many businesses will not have much storage space. It's like even going to school. Now there are a lot of e-learning processes that are many institutions may not have much, don't need much room. Big halls that used to be there may be gone, so that reduced. More efficient marketing and reduction of costs. Yes, yeah. Right. What others? Other members, Waweru serves as an efficient mode of carrying business by reducing unnecessary physical meetings. Right. That's very interesting. Picking on Waweru's response here, reducing unnecessary physical meetings, traveling, cuts down on this. You realize that some organizations like the parliament, they meet many times. As allowances go to these parliamentarians or senators. You can reduce that kind of thing and meet online. And you don't have to pay people allowance for traveling, because they don't have to travel. They can work from their rooms and so on. They are off their homes and their offices in their homes. Yes, as an efficient mode of carrying. Yes, easy on comparing prices, right? Yeah. Belinda, cost effectiveness since it helps cost on automation, encourage superior customer experience, right? Onyonia's good. Yeah, superior customer experience, because you are really transact at a high level. You are not dealing with a day-to-day routine transactions. Thank you very much for those points that you have brought coming. I want to move the next one here, and the next one here is another slide is right. Now this one here, we need to make it slightly larger. Pardon me a little bit. I need to make this a little larger. And sorry, I didn't want to share that. But I want to make this larger. Cancel sharing. Come here. Yeah. I want to make this larger so that we can see it. The business information system. Just pardon me, just trying to make it larger. I hope you can see it well there, right? You can see it there. And what you can see here is the information system. What does the information system have? From this pictorial representation here, it has two wings. The first one here are operations. You remember the bottom of the pyramid, operations, support of business operations. So the information system does the operations. Yeah, thank you, Marcy. I can see more answers in inventory control and so on. Thank you for those answers. You're keeping coming. But let's zero in now on this diagram we have on board here. Sorry, there are some lines that are not supposed to be there, but nevertheless, don't worry about it. We'll just look at what is there. Now, there are two wings. Better, let's look at our pyramid. From the bottom, what we saw at the bottom was operations. That's very important in any organization. If you don't have operations, that means the frontline people. If the bank, there are no tellers there, or if it's the hotel, you don't have the front office there, customers there, people at the waiters there, and so on. You have no business. You may not go far. So this is crucial. These are routine. Many activities are going on here. Now, on the other wing here, we have the management support system. What does that system do? That system supports managerial decisions, because decisions have to be made at different levels. Mid-level management and top-level management, and the CEO's level. Decisions have to be made on a daily basis. So coming back, let's look at the operations, zero in on operations. When you look at the people at operation, what are they doing? They need what they call a specialized system, operating system. They need a transaction system, transactions like the point of sale, where you are buying, receipts are generated, and people they pick their goods, they go. And there is a process system, process control, the one that controls the processes, because these are machines interrelated. When you buy and there is a teller there and they swipe your product, it makes some noise, it records and it generates a receipt and you make the payments. When you make the payment, you get the receipt. Yeah. And you see there is a system that controls that, ensures that things are running well. And then enterprise collaboration system. Yeah, now this brings in a entire system. The teams, okay? The teams, you see, the team and the work groups. That is happening, ERP, because they must be integrated. And of course, when you look at the processing, business transactions, control of industry processes, and so on, this is a general example, by the way. This is a generic example, so don't have to worry about it. But it's something to do with the operations and the management system. Operations are a day-to-day that generate reports that are used for management. If I use the university, for example, I give an example, learning institution where the students are registering, entering, being admitted, they register, and as they register, the information is picked, processed in terms of files being generated, and there is a control system that makes sure that the systems are working, and all the people involved, finance, including admissions, including the departments involved, all that collaborate together. And so this is the area of the admissions and dealing with the process of students as they go through the university. There will be exams also. They are done like we did the exams the other day, and the transaction their records are up to date. By the way, your results will be out by the end of the week. You will see your results or your cards that you did the other week. They are ready, but we'll just be releasing them. You'll be reading about those. So exams, whatnot, are done here in the university. But the hospital also, when you look at the hospital, the admissions, the records at the beginning, admissions, the patients and the wards, all that is there. Then you come to the management system. These are now the next level, seeing what's happening. The management information system, specified reporting, reports that they get. How many patients do we receive? Which type of disease are they? How many have we discharged? How many have we lost? That information is there so that they can make decisions. And then, of course, interactive decision support system, the system that interacts with others. And, of course, the executive system. These are all details. You don't need to get the details of this. But what is happening is that all is for management. Information coming from what's happening at the lower level, in the terms of the point of sale or the front offices, to now the decision maker at different levels. And there are different levels. Decisions are made at the managerial level, mid-level managers, the divisional heads or the heads of departments. And then, of course, the CEO and the team will be looking at now what's next in terms of how can we improve service to our customers and beat our competitors. All that information down here. And then, of course, these systems here, as you go down, there are expert advice system, management organizing knowledge, all these. What we need to know is there is an operational system, support system, and there is a management system for decision making and information as you go along. Now, going a little bit in details in terms of these systems, what are we doing as an organization? And we're saying this. I want to do something here again. Functional businesses. And I want to make it yes, here a little bit, here a little bit there, but I'm losing something. Losing something here. What we do is when we look at the functional system, we may start here first. Functional system. We make it a little smaller so we can be just a bird's eye view first. But at the center, there's a functional business system. And this functional business system is related to operations, related to accounting, related to finance, related to human resource and marketing. This gives you the interrelationship of the various systems within the business information system. And a functional business system then has all these five. It's a star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not David Star, but it's a star. You know, the 5 things that happen. That's the function. When you look at this, for example, you look at the production and operations. You must produce products before you sell them. And as you produce a product, there are systems that help you in production, the manufacturing, the equipment, and running those machines. If it's automated, for example, the production operations. This is key in every organization. Manufacturing, resource planning, manufacturing, execution of systems, process control, all that manufacturing. And those, you are manufacturing goods that meet the customer. The marketing division is busy out there looking for customers. There are sales and marketing. We are the best company. We are the best institution. We are marketing these products for you, and we can meet your needs. What needs you require? Customer relations comes in. They are very busy dealing with customers, complaints and compliments. Interface in the market, in the active marketing. Salesforce is out there. They are very busy selling products and talking to customers out there. Why don't you buy your products? Why don't you buy Kimbo? No other product. Kimbo is the best product, for example. Or why don't you come to ZTech University? ZTech University, the best university. We have various programs that will suit you and your future careers. Come to ZTech University. You know, we are dealing with that all the time, the marketing. And this is also, it's a system that ties this. You have a system for marketing. And customer relations, feedback from customers and meeting their needs. And then there is a human resource, of course, system here, whereby dealing with the people. When you go to any institution like the university, you have the 2 major divisions. There are the teaching staff, the faculty, and there is the management and the operations team, the non-teaching team that's busy dealing with transactions. For example, the front office. The front office there, you'll get the people inviting you, receiving you at our reception there. If not directly, it could be virtual, welcoming you to the university, the institution, and assisting you. If it's registration you require, English you require, there will be the front office staff, and they have the managers that handle that, deals with that division. Hiring also comes in here within the human resource management. Hiring staff, both teaching and non-teaching. You know, when you go to the other wing of the teaching, the faculties, the faculty, which is the teaching staff, you have organized in division, departments. Business, for example, the School of Business and Economics, which this course is being offered. The School of Business Economics. Then the School of Hospitality and Tourism. Then Education and Social Sciences. And then you have Journalism and Media. And you have IT and Engineering. All these departments are there. So human resource deals with those departments as well, because you're dealing with the workforce that you require to run the organization. Again, there's a system that does that, the HR system. When are they employed? How are they compensating them? Are we hiring new people? There's a whole system that does with manages that. Their leaves, for example, how do they get their leaves? When do they get the leaves? Leave days and that kind of thing. Then, of course, there is the finance. The accounting. The accounting here is payments, deals with receipts and payments. Yeah, receipts and payments, order processing, receiving of new students' fees or receiving of admission fees, and ensuring that that's happening. If it's a supermarket, for example, they process the orders, inventory control, making sure that the stock is not run out, accounts receivable, yes, customers are paying, our debtors, creditors are there, the payroll, dealing with the payroll, preparing the payroll. Payroll is, of course, dealing with related to human resource, the payroll. How many workers we have? 200 workers, payments, and so on. What the payments are done every month, they must dispatch. Then the general ledger, in the organization. Again, this is a whole system, finance system, accounting system. And the other system then is finance. Somebody say, wow, what's the difference between accounting and finance? You can see accounting is basically dealing with the payments, the receiving of the money, the payments, the payroll, and so on. But finance is the management part of it. How are we doing the cash flow this month, this semester, this month, this quarter of the year? Then credit management. Allowing creditors, if it is a question of, for example, hospital, they need to release the patients that are not paid. How do we control that? Accounting doesn't do that. Accounting is just receiving the money and making the payments and making the records and so on. But finance now begin making decisions in terms of, do we allow customers to pay or later or now? Credit control, for example, and so on. Investment management. Yes, any extra finances we have, where can we put it in short term or long term to earn interest and so on? We'll be dealing with investment here. They'll also be dealing with, I want to share a little bit here. They will also be dealing with a little bit, yeah. They'll also be dealing with this capital budgeting, financial forecasting, and so on and so forth. So the functional business system touches the 5 wings. These are summarized, highly summarized, for us to understand the relationship between the various functions of an organization. If it's a university, for example, production here is the actual, we may not have directly production. For service organizations, slightly different. It's basically receiving the clients and handling them and providing the service. But if it's manufacturing, yes, you get into production. If, for example, a bakery, huge bakery like we used to be one in Eldoret here, we used to call it Paul's Bakery. But in Nairobi, you have a Broadway, for example, and other bakeries that we have. Manufacturing, they are very busy processing bread, cakes, other confectionaries, very busy. What do they require? The production. And this is based on the customers. You see, customers here, marketing. The marketing wing has to be busy dealing with customers. Otherwise, the production will not run if the customers are not there. You can see the relationship. Marketing here tells us the forecasts of sales. We are forecasting that this time we need more bread, and this type of bread. People are buying a lot of this because that information is coming in through the marketing team, the sales force. And that information is fed directly to the production. Paperless these days, you find that the orders, you can see what our customers saying, and that information is translated to the production. And the production team there, under their manager in charge, will translate the information into the cakes that are going faster, queen cakes, or these other kind of products. This is what people are requiring, and so on. Same thing, human resource. What kind of human resource we require? We're increasing our sales force, you see, or we are opening a new division called dealing with the whatever division. We need human resource. And this is also related with the financial and the accounting. These are related functional areas. I want to ask any comments on this diagram. Comments? Please comment. Give your comments. Please give your comments. I hope I've not lost you. Comments on this slide. That is functional business systems. Functional business. And we have comments on this. Please keep them coming. You're also free to send information, right? You're free, but comment on this, on these systems. What do you think about them? Is there anything that BIS does? Give your comments, keep them coming. I see Onyoni is typing. What about the others? I would also want to hear people say something. And can I get some people saying something, please? Yeah. Regina, not heard you. Sarah, I've not heard any of you. I just had one person at the beginning. But the rest, quiet. Can we hear something? If not, keep typing. Is procurement one of the functional business system? Yes, it is. Procurement is part of it. And procurement really would fall under more or less, you can see here, we are talking of inventory control. It will fall under inventory control means, the procurement team have to buy. And they are very closely related with production. Because production will make an order, and it will be very, very clear. Clear understood, Cecilia, yes. Procurement is functional system, but it's one of these. Say, Cecilia, yes, very clear, you understood. Anything else on this? About these functional business systems. When we talk about a business system, we are talking about, as we said at the beginning, the equipment, machines that really, and then, of course, the information that flows through those equipment and machines in terms of if it is ordering, processing the orders, and ensuring that you send the orders, you receive, you process, you dispatch. It's a system: receiving, processing, dispatch. And they are related. When you receive, payments has also to come in. You can see payments have to be, you have received the order, and this is what it costs, and the customer also has to pay, because the policy could be pay as you place your order. You place your order, and we'll communicate to you and say, yes, these materials are available, and these are their prices. Please pay. And then when the person pays, then you process the order, and then you dispatch. It's a system. And as you dispatch, the procurement is also allowed, because the inventory system automatically tells you what products are being dispatched and what is the remaining, what are the economic order quantity to order some more before we run stock up. So they're all interrelated. What are the various concerns of e-commerce? Yeah, that's a good question. Question kindly. Yes. What are the concerns of e-commerce? I want to ask that question. I want to pose that question, Mercy. If we pause a minute, I can see many of us, before we answer Mercy's question, 5 systems are interrelated, yes. Functional business systems are interrelated. Fail of one system may affect the other, right? I think that answers part of Mercy, because failure e-commerce assumes that you are buying and selling, and there could be a system in terms of payments, if there's a failure in payments, and so on. Let us say something here. That my conclusion on functional business system is that they are all interrelated and can't perceive one to be more important than the other. Organizations cannot operate without one. Right, Leah, I see that. Good point. That they are all interrelated. And if you talk of e-commerce, what are we saying about e-commerce? Going back to the question raised, e-commerce means you are buying or selling by using the system, without physically handling the money or seeing the products. You read, you want to buy this particular motor vehicle from Japan, and what you do is you follow their website, and they give you the instructions of how to make an order for their vehicles, and you find that they are interrelated. There is a question of information you've received. There is a sending the order. Of course, if they are marketed very well, some of the market, and you've picked the information on the market here, and then you send your order as a customer. When you send the order of your order, it will reach it will reach the ordering process. It will reach here, the finance people. This system receive the order to purchase a sedan, Toyota Mark 15. There's a vehicle like that. We have received the order, and it's in stock, yes, and the amount has been paid. If it's normally, if the terms are paid before dispatch, because terms are cash on order, whatever, payment on order. You paid for it, so you process it, you receive the money, you confirm, and then again goes to the stock, the inventory. Is it there? Are we producing? If it is not there, the inventory in the stock also. and it is dispatched. And then as it is dispatched, the customer will get it. Now, who are doing the human resource is part of it, because you have people who are received the orders, to process the orders and dispatch and so on. So all are interrelated. Yes, I see layer bank functional business system is that they are interrelated. Moha says something in e-commerce, they are barely customer loyalty. Okay. Okay, very interesting. At Masi, maintaining customer loyalty is difficult. Yes, e-commerce means you can buy from anybody, anywhere, as long as they can market very well. You can buy from anywhere. Although you can also have customer loyalty, by the way, by giving them discounts, you can do that. But generally, you'll find that it's not like we do face-to-face. You know, it's fraud. Yes, fraud is there because there are also companies. You remember sometimes back in the papers, we had people who were complaining. What were they complaining about? They said they had ordered some products using certain websites and they had not received the products. So that is a big danger. And that's a big problem in e-commerce, that you have to know the vendor clearly, and you must have a recourse of if you did fail, what happens? How do you get back your money? This is a problem that is there globally. And of course, there are quack companies that are there today. You've heard about, if I may just mention briefly about quack companies, about employment, or to buy their jobs in the Middle East and so on. These job bureaus, you pay some money before you get, even locally, by the way. I hope you are not, some of you have not fallen prey to this. That what's happening today is that there are also fake companies, using individuals, fake numbers. They'll call you and say, look, we need 5 accountants or IT experts, and please send us their numbers, and we call them directly, and so on. And when they call them, they tell them, look, there's a job is here. You can put in your CV real quick. The jobs are available. They want to hire. This has happened, by the way, to a number of people I know. And they fell victim, because at the end of it, they tell, look, the payment is to be done to process your documents. They will ask you that. For example, they would say you need the clearance from the police. This is CID clearance you need, and they know the police are not giving clearance right now at the moment because of COVID-19. There are people who have become smart, Alex. So they will get money from you. Oh yeah, there is a way of clearing. Pay this money. Corruption is there also, and you find that people have been caught. So there are those even in commerce that you find, and so on. Ordering products and getting totally different products. Yes, that's possible. You can order. You know, pictures do not tell the whole story. You can see, they can show you what they think they want you to see. And when they send you the product, you get another different product. Thank you very much, Moha, for that. And I see somebody here said something. Okay, Leah said something. It's important that the customer is at risk. Of course, there's a risk there. And how does the government, then government comes in now to protect. You remember, we talk about government protecting the customer, their citizens. You remember we talked about the role of government in business. One of it to protect their customers. Although there's a caveat there, also they make it. They say, call it something. The buyer be aware. You know, when you are buying any product from anybody, see if you are. You should be aware. That means you have also responsibility. You cannot come back and say, look, I bought something that is fake. It's you to be aware and to know also. And so that's what happens. Here it's important to know the customer is not at risk of being hacked. Yes, it's also possible. All those things are possibilities. And so we move on, ladies and gentlemen, unless there's anything else about this, the 5-star kind of arrangement, relationship, or function of business system that we have highly summarized into 5 areas: human resource, marketing, production, finance, and accounting. They are actually the key, because if you look at any organization, look at any, be it service, be it manufacturing, these 5 are there. There might be different names. Some have been merged, but they're the same. There's only security issues regards e-commerce, right? Right. Let's move on and look at a little bit more on something closer to this. BIS, Business Information System. Right, I want to make this bigger. Let me do this so you can read. Business Information System, what is it? Business Information System. Information system support at all levels of managerial decisions. We are now looking at decisions directly. Managerial levels for decision making. At strategic level, at tactical level, at operational level. If we may look at these levels as Sorry. Yeah. Oh, it's too big. Yeah. A little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there. Sorry. Yeah. If we look at this in terms of decision making, business information system, and decision making, you find that there are three major levels. You remember the pyramid, where we looked at the operational level. That means the lowest level, the bottom of the pyramid. The tactical level, which is the middle level, the managers, as I say, the managers, heads of departments. And then the strategic level is the board level, the CEO, the chief executive officer at the top. We've used the university at the operational level. We are dealing with the front office and direct members of staff that deal with the customers directly. Lecturers at the teaching level, the people at the front office, the finance people, admissions, all those, including also the counseling. Let's not leave behind the counseling. We are dealing with the university. The operational level, dealing with things every day, teaching, answering questions of exams, and so on. And then the next level are heads of departments who deal with the medium level. Yes, in my department, we have 1,002 students, or I have 600 students. I have these programs. I have so many lecturers. I need more lecturers. I need more equipment, and so on. That is a tactical level. They will look at what do they need to enable the operational team to work well. That they will do. And then at the top here, the decisions made at the top here are those ones of, are we in the right business? Can we increase the number of programs for the university, for example? Like now we are dealing with an MBA program. We're actually just finalizing the Master's Business Administration and many other master's degree programs coming in. And then having to come with a new equipment, the new system, for example. We need a new system, versatile system that will be able to carry out transactions, new equipment. That information is coming from the operational team, what they require in terms of the challenges. The management team have looked at it, evaluated it, and said, yes, we need more equipment, we need a versatile system. Like now we have a new ERP system that's going on. Remember, you are trained on this sometimes back, and the training is ongoing. And then, of course, the decision is made at this level. Yes, we buy this equipment, a new ERP system. Or we go to a new branch or a new, campus. We just moved the location, for example, in the down campus offices. We have moved from the three places. We are consolidating this into one location. And that decision is made at the top. But information has to come from the operational level, then evaluated at management level, and then, of course, recommended for execution to the top level, which approves this. When you look at the decision structures, the decisions are also at structure level. It's very general again. You can apply this to any organization. Any organization can be able to do this, be it a service, be it a manufacturing, be it an institution. They are all managerial levels at those levels. When we come to decision making, there are structured decisions, they are semi-structured, they are unstructured. When we look at this, if I may say something about the majority of decisions at operational level are structured. At the mid, if they are made these requirements. Even at tactical level, they are more or less semi-structured. In a way, they have to make some decisions based on recommendations from the operational level. At the top here, they are unstructured because you are charting a new way. How do we make our organization grow, expand, be able to reach more customers, be able to have new programs, be able to be competitive, unstructured, uncharted. So that's what happens when you look at the decisions. They all begin at the time down here and they move up, and information flows to and fro. We see. Right. Having done that, we can, unless there's any question on that, but we'll talk more a little bit. You can look at the next slide, where you look at these decisions as they move on. Now, just before we come to this, probably sorry to take you back a little bit. Before we come to this, I should have gone back here. Yeah. When you look at the decisions, there is the operational level, the structure type of, as mentioned, structure type of decisions, transaction process. That's at the level of the front office. Front office in the hospital, front office in the front office actually in the supermarket are those people who are receiving your cash and so on and so forth, and also those guiding you in terms of which products are found where in the supermarket, the front office. Then their decisions are all structured. They're all policies, guidelines. They just key in the information. Yes, with this, make this decision, accept, defer, refer. Accept, defer, refer, if it's a question of students' admissions and so on. Same thing with the hospital. Yeah, the person as they paid, yes, you refer them, they go to now the next stage where they go to see the doctor and so on and so forth. You're familiar with this at the front office, you are received, and then you have to put in your card. If you are paying cash, they'll tell you. If not, it's an insurance company paying, they'll need you to fill the form. And after you fill the form, they will seek permission from the insurance company. They're paying that amount, and they say it's okay. Then you move the next level, which means you can now go for your temperatures to be taken. Then you see the doctor, or you see the nurse, or see whoever at this level. But the next level here is actually semi-structured. Because there are certain decisions, if, for example, the patient here is not insured and don't have cash, do we send them away? Or what do we do? The front office staff will refer them to the next person, the supervisor. Now, this patient here has been here before, and they are not covered, but they pay cash, and they don't have cash now. What do we do? The decision is made at this level. Now, with this kind of thing, they'll have, it's not structured that one because it's not a daily routine decision. They'll make a decision. Or the insurance company has declined and the patient is sick. Do we admit the patient or not? That decision is not made by these fellows at the front office. It's made by the managers, next level, supervisor, whoever it is, the clinical officer in charge or the administrator in charge, do that. They don't really go up to the top, but they will go at the top if it is a difficult case. So here is semi-structured decisions. Here there are structured decisions. And they need information. Here you have transaction information system, which is just point of sale. You punch in, it's accepted, you receive it, you receive the money or your payments. Here, the management information comes in now, whereby they look at the system, the information, they use the management information system, and up here at the top is decision support system. Information systems required, decision structure. These are all interrelated. Begin here, going up. And if there are any questions coming, yes, you can see the arrow up and down. It shows that there is always communication between the top, the middle, and the operational level. Same thing with the decisions, the same story happens, that they are all interrelated systems as they play the role. Now, when we look at opportunities, what is then the role of business information system to small and benefits to micro, small, and medium enterprise, say the enterprise sector, the entrepreneurs? What is the role of MIS or BIS to this institution? What is the role? Question we ask ourselves. Now that we have gone through, we have talked about these systems. If I may just go back to this, there is the information. BIS has all this. It has for the transaction, information system for transactions, information system for the managers, information system for the top management. We ask ourselves, what would be the role of this system in terms of these levels? Why is a business information system important? That's a question I want to ask. Now, the question I want to raise here is posed to you guys. What is the importance of BIS, business information systems, to organizations? If I may open a little bit, organizations or businesses. What's the role of this to an organization? What is the importance of BIS to an organization? That's a question I'd want to pose to all of us. Let's reflect on this a little bit. Now that we have talked about it, right from the beginning of the class, with the session, and we are now summarizing it to this level, that the business information system really touches on the three levels. Touches on the shop floor, the operational level, people who are meeting customers on a day-to-day basis, the front line, and touches on managers, the heads of department, and touches on the top level management, which is the CEO and team, the management team. What is the role of, or the importance of this? I want to hear some of you. Maybe you can verbalize also. And gentlemen, if somebody wants to dare and say, look, this is the importance. Yes, I see we are 23 of us. I've lost some of the members. Where are they? Have they gone on the wayside, or what's happening? Anybody who wants to dare say something? Yes. Right. Yes, I see Mercy. Thank you, Mercy. Helps in decision-making processes, planning and controlling and organization activities. Excellent. Yes, it does that. The importance of BIS is decision-making. You need information to make decisions. Unless you know, if you are a supermarket fellow running a supermarket like our friend at the beginning, Mamboleo, he needs to know in Machako supermarket, not necessarily him, but the team at the top management, middle management and top management need to know what sells fast in Machako's branch, what sells fast in the Meru branch, what sells fast in the Nyeri branch, or Nakuru. They need to know this information. How do they get it? Either by phone, which is cumbersome, by SMS, which is cumbersome, or by reports, which are generated almost on real time. Just look at the reports, yes, flagging up certain products, yes, and so on. So, Mercy, I think that's good for decision making. Ndiku, yes, helps in forecasting an upcoming event, right? They forecast in terms of, if you look at the seasons, you can look at last year this time, even though COVID and so on. You can forecast, helps in forecasting upcoming events, helps in marketing, right? You are marketing because you need to know which markets is selling more. If it's the market of, let's say, the women, middle-level women, or children, or adults, whichever it is, you can get a market very, very well. That's good. Good answer, good report. Helps in ensuring organizational effectiveness, right? Makes operations simple, makes it simple to store operations data, revision, and so on, communication, right? Helps in forecasting, right? I see Brian here. Thank you. Helps in ensuring organizational effectiveness. In farms activities, yes, you are effective in meeting the customers, deadlines and things like those, yes. Mercy and the name here is not full, eh? Yes, companies use this information to improve their business operation, right? Make strategies, decisions, and so on. Moha helps in smooth running of the organization, right? Leah, business information and well integrated within the managerial levels, allow the organization to be dynamic. Good. Very dynamic, you can know what's happening and you can make decisions quickly. Helps in improving the communication. Yeah, makes it simple to store information and so on. Very good. Eases the decision. Regina, good. Is the decision making easy, simplified, and so on. BIS has this, where enables innovative ways of, yeah, it gives you really time to innovate because you are not just tying yourself to beating your head and making decisions, but already information is available and the touch of a button, yes, buy this product, order this product from this customer or from this supplier very quickly because you have the information. Enables innovative ways of carrying out this. Very good. And that's excellent. That's very excellent as we see that BIS plays a key role in terms of really many, many other areas. It makes life easier. If I may pause for a minute and go back to, again, banking in the 70s when some of us started working, 70s and early 80s, where you'd go to the bank. To know your balance, you needed to travel physically. Even these mobile phones were not there, by the way, in the 70s. They were not there. It was a phone where you had to ring. And sometimes they are very cumbersome because the lines, they used to landlines. So the phones, you couldn't call the bank to know how much you have in the account. So you had to travel physically from your home all the way. Some of us used to take half a day from our homes to reach the bank because there are many vehicles. They're also very poor. To reach there and you go to the counter, you give in your passport. We used to use passbooks. So you give your passbook in there, they take it, the teller will take it, go back to the desk, go to the records, manually go to the file, get your account, and tell you, oh, hakuna pesa, au shilingi imebaki tu 100 in the account. They used to shout sometimes that some of them are not courteous enough because there are so many customers waiting. The books have been piling to tell them the balances. So they would shout over the counter, so and so, hakuna mishahara imeingia, so and so, pesa ni 100 tu, so and so, shilingi hii peke yake iko kwa. And you see, it was very embarrassing. It was time consuming. That time, I picture it very well. I used to go to some bank, one of the banks I went to, you spend 4 hours. And you see the ventilation was very poor. You know, there's a time payment, especially at the end of the month. It was terrible. Today, I can do any time, midnight or morning or daytime, wherever I am. With my phone, I can easily check and I can read what's the balance in my account, whether money is there, whether my check has gone through, if I was receiving some checks. I can do that. And I can also transfer that money. That time you had to withdraw the money, move physically with the money. There was no M-Pesa. Move physically with the money, go to the shop, buy whatever you want to buy, give them the cash, they count the money, then they wrap the products for you, and you travel home. Very slow. Things today, I can sit in my living room, make an order, make transaction payment by M-Pesa or whatever bank transfer. Money can be transferred. Then I can order goods and they can supply it at my doorstep without me walking out there within record time. This is now what's happening. Of course, there are still areas in this country where that's not possible because of the network and so on. But many areas, especially urban areas, you can get your products very easily that way. So when we talk about the system, BIS helps the organization to know what their customers want and so on. Yes, they will read. If you place an order, for example, I want these particular products and so on. And of course, you have their catalog of products, or you have your list of the products they're selling and their prices also. So you can tell very easily and you can order that. Billing, you said, boost the performance and productivity due to proper planning, exactly, and so forth. So BIS has a major boost today. What else can we say about BIS? What else can we BIS? Business Information System. Let's look at the next slide here quickly as we move towards the end. Yeah, this is a summary of BIS in terms of benefiting enterprises. Number one, new opportunities. Yes, new opportunities will arise in terms of new avenues for revenue generation. That has happened. New opportunities are there because of information system. And by the way, if I may pause here for a minute and say, some of your own colleagues who have either graduated, some of them graduated a few years back, some of them are yet to graduate, they are actually having new opportunities of working online. You have work online and you are paid for doing that work. There's work for research, as long as you are registered. There's work for research. There's work for programming, those of you are in programming. There's work in any areas. There's work of writing a paper online. And there are companies, organizations that pay for this. They contract people online. So there are new opportunities that have come because of business information systems. New opportunities. You can be a consultant, work in your own room. As long as you have a smartphone or you have a smart laptop, you and reliable power and a reliable communication system, you can do that and earn your money. Many students like yourselves are doing that, and many people who have graduates are doing that today. So new opportunities, new avenues for revenue collection. That generation, that is also happening in organizations that are established. They use BIS to do that. They've gone into e-marketing, e-commerce. That's a new opportunity for e-commerce because you can now see here that you can sell online. There used to be companies those days back. They used to call them selling online. You know, they deliver. They were reliable companies. You would order products and they deliver them. They're still there today, although there are a lot of con men who have come in between, as somebody was mentioning. Yeah, otherwise, there are new opportunities that come in to increase your revenue. The other one is sales and marketing. Enhance customer experience, data gathering, simplify, and speed up order processing and fulfillment. Yes, this sales and marketing, very interesting because it has simplified. It has enhanced customer experience. Customers are there waiting. I can buy goods. You can gather the data. You speed up the processing and fulfillment of orders from customers. Very convenient. Again, this is the benefit. You can also say the role played by BIS is actually to enhance customer experience in terms of information is available and they can easily transact without moving anywhere with speed. That's there. Competitive advantage. We saw the top management are busy looking at how can we gain competitive advantage over our competitors. And BIS has that answer. The answer here is you can create new products, like Equity Bank has created new products, Safaricom has created new products, and many others. New products, even these supermarkets have also created new products. When they tell you they can supply you goods directly, that's a big market. It may not be new products, but a new market, as we see. Enhance customer experience, faster product development. Now, when you're producing, yes, faster product cycle, you can do that. You can now see what's happening with the COVID-19 and how COVID-19 has transformed enterprises. There are those who are producing various products related to COVID-19, beginning from, of course, the sanitizers, then of course the covers that we use, and of course you can also see the PPEs and so on. There are companies that are already doing that. They saw the opportunity and they ran to it. And looking at what's happening through information gathering and so on, that's what they're doing. New create products, enhance customer experience, faster product development, reduce overheads, lock in to customers and so on. M-Pesa is very interesting. It's a real revolution. It was developed by a Kenyan young man, and of course he was paid money, but it can't compete. He was not paid sufficient money as what is generated now by M-Pesa. Of course, do you know there's another competitor of M-Pesa? There are many other competitors. In the paper recently, there was something about something in Central America. I think there's something reading about some product that's going to change, revolutionize M-Pesa, compete M-Pesa. Transacting money using WhatsApp. I think that's what they were trying to say. That using WhatsApp, today is a new product. Using WhatsApp, you can transact money like M-Pesa. Read about it. It's something in the papers, I think 2-3 days ago. It's a new innovation that has come in, and it was being done somewhere in Central America. Again, one of those gurus was doing that, but we could do that very easily. Now, so it creates competitive advantage in that you have new products, new markets, and you are busy ahead of everybody else. Safaricom came with M-Pesa while other telecom companies were following suit, following like Airtel, Money, and these were just running after M-Pesa team and so on. So what are you saying? We're saying competitive advantage. You can BIS, you can leverage on BIS, you can create that. Even an SME can do that. You can leverage on a BIS, they can easily create that competitive advantage. Maybe you can pause for a minute. Look at that supermarket in our friend John Mambaleo. At the beginning, we talked about John Mambaleo running 5 supermarkets, operates 5 supermarkets in 5 towns in Kenya. How can he create competitive advantage? Of course, one of what he has done here is have the branches. How else can he create competitive advantage? Using what? Using BIS. That's a question we can pause and ask ourselves. How can we create that? How can we create competitive advantage using business information system? I'll pause that and see we continue. We'll answer it at the end. Cost reduction, eliminate redundant tasks, centralization, outsourcing, all that time consuming are very reduced. They're no longer being very busy there. Yeah, I see Masengova is typing something. There's helped organizations to know what their customers want and how they improve the production and get real-time feedback. That's good, real thing, yeah. Cost reduction, yes, eliminates costs. Convenience, work from anywhere. I used about working from home, teaching from home, for example. Right now, I'm teaching from home, and many of you are learning from home. Very interesting, yeah? Learning from home. Very good one. Yeah, very interesting. I'm sure last year, this time, if we had mentioned to you and to all of us that, oh, yeah, we'll be learning and teaching from home, people would have said, are you crazy? What do you mean? Do we have equipment? Do we have the systems? Is it possible? And that's what's happening with some institutions, by the way, some of those universities. But for us, your universities, ZTech universities, we're ahead in technology. We're already ahead. We're running. We're ensuring that you, our clients, our customers, you, the students, are getting value from money. I hope you are. If you are not, please communicate to us. Hope what we teach, we tell you. So we share this information. You are getting it, and you can real-time ask questions, Malimu. I can see some of you are not asking, some of you are recommending. We are all learning together. Like somebody here talked about BIS helps the organization to know what their customers want and how they improve production and so on. Yes, That's what we're doing. BIS, we're using business information system, by the way. You may say, hey, wait a minute. Is blended learning a business information system? And I want to say to a large extent, yes, we are, because we are communicating with you. We are selling, we are giving you products, our service we are offering, related product service we are offering, and we are communicating with you, even doing exams last week and so on, results and register. All this, we are actually using the information system platform. And so one of the things is it has reduced also cost. Hey, look at it. You are not traveling to the university. You are staying at home. You are not renting that hostel room that you are staying in and paying rent. No, you're at home, eating food at home or wherever you are. You're just at home. So it cost reduction is simple. Example, convenience, work from anywhere. That's very good. You can work from anywhere to do BIS. Our friend Mamboleo with his supermarket can be anywhere himself. He can be somewhere enjoying the sun and the beach in Mombasa. I hope it's open. He can be there as he waits, and he can check what's happening in his 5 branches in terms of real time. What are the sales for the last week in my branches? He can do that. What about now? What are the sales currently? He can get that information anywhere at his convenience. Management business functions simplified through functional systems. Yes, said about the simplified. And then personalization, products and services are target marketing. Yeah, you can personalize these services. And then analytical tools, all data, AI, for example, artificial intelligence, data mining, automation, all these are analytical tools that you have under business information systems. Ladies and gentlemen, interesting. Business information systems do quite a number of things that we had never thought of. As I mentioned at the beginning, this is just an introduction. With a one lesson like this one, 2 hours, 3 hours, we can never exhaust all about the business information system. But I want to encourage you, read. We have the internet, search, all of the business information system, the benefits businesses gain, even individuals, even employees. It's a whole array of open field that we can know about this business information system. If I may say something a little bit here, way back when I was in undergraduate, I think it was graduate level. And somebody said, now the internet is going to revolutionize the way of doing things. It was like a dream in the 70s, by the way, I mean, 80s, late 70s, early 80s. Somebody saying the internet, where www is going to revolutionize the way things are done, be it business, be it leisure, be it whatever. And true, it has. So BIS has revolutionized the way business is done. Any organization that is lacking behind is not embracing information technology. That will be left behind like the dinosaurs. If you remember the dinosaurs, those animals that used to exist many years back and they were passed by time, you can only see the fossils. Today, you see companies that are just fossils because they've died. So it's actually the in thing today, including universities and institutions of learning. Now you can see many of us, we're just doing a survey at most of the key universities, global universities, and we saw many of the universities have gone the way you are doing. We're actually competing in the marketplace by ensuring that we are using the information system to reach to our clients and provide quality education like you are getting right now, I believe. And if you are not, tell us, please. We are ready to listen to you and to ensure that learning goes on well. Now, finally, before we come to the end, I want to pause for a few questions here. Yeah, questions for reflection. How can a small-scale enterprise use the business information system discussed in this class to grow its business? State at least 5 applications. That's a question for reflection. That how can, we have touched them here and there, but how can a small-scale enterprise leverage the business information system to grow? Maybe a few questions, maybe a few answers. Your comments, please. Your comments, please. Comments, please. Send me your comments. How can a small-scale enterprise use the business information system discussed in this class to grow its business? May I read about your comments? Your comments, please, on that question. Comments on how an SME grow their business by use of BI O-I-S. Right. Your comments, please, on how can a business grow its how can an MSC on how can your comments, please, on how can an SME grow their business by use of BIS? May I get a few comments, please? Ladies and gentlemen, you see I had 24 of you today. I don't know where the rest are. But any comments I see here? Automation of the process to make it efficient and effective. Thank you, Jacqueline Amoke. That's good. Automation of this can make what? Efficient. You become more efficient by delivering on time, by promising what you have delivered, what you promised to deliver, and you deliver it on time, and also effectively. Yeah, it makes it efficient and effective. Right? Let's get one more or two more, and then we call it a day for now. Let's get one more. Anybody who is typing, please. We ask ourselves, how can a small-scale enterprise think of one is if a hotel or a transport system, matatu business, or a manufacturer manufacturing, let's say, juices, how can they make use of this? Well, Albert, thank you for your answer. You said an SME can have more large markets. Yes, large market best in the competitive industry. Yes, how can that be? The question is, sometimes you answer the question, how? How can it be? And the answer here, yes, can have a large market. Yes, automation. By automation, all product I mean pricing BIS. Mangi can use BIS to advertise. Exactly. Yes, you can advertise online, and you can do that by selling layer using social media platforms to reach a wide base. Excellent. That's what we are doing in the university. Social media. Come to our university. This is a great institution. Or you can sell anything else, of course, if you are selling products and so on. Through innovation and Uber is doing exactly. Hey, Nelly Sinja, good. Excellent for that. Yeah. Using Uber is a good example. It revolutionized transport system whereby you only dial an Uber and it'll be there and it's cheaper. You pay also online. Hey, very, very quick. Helps in gathering information. Yes, Brian. Used in decision making and so forth running. Ndiku, Dennis, they use BIS to obtain feedback and so on and so forth. Thank you very much for those answers, and I'm sure we'll keep this going. Let's keep the conversation going. But I want us to pause for now and call it a day for this session. I want to say thank you again. God bless you for listening to this session very well. Any comments on this session? Any comments? Any comments about this session as we come about this session? This is topic 6. I want your comments on topic 6. Any comments on topic 6? Mwalimu. Right. Any questions in the comments for topic 6 for Mwalimu? Otherwise, I like your answers. Thank you very much, Mwasi. God bless you too. If there's anything that you feel, thank you very much. These notes are going to be available. They were not on at the time we started, but they will be on. Yes, no need to do the card one when you are giving us the next. I'll do that, Sinja. Jacqueline, the session is okay. Keep up when we can do our makeup card for those who missed it. I can see many of you are worried about the makeup card. We'll let you know next week. I promise you next week we'll let you know. But for this week, we are almost done. We'll let you know when it's available, and we'll be open for that. Great lesson, keeps getting better and interactive. God bless you. Thank you, Leah. Yes, Mohammed, it was a nice presentation. Well understood. Nice day. You too. Interesting. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to say God bless you. And we want to end that session now. So as we end this session, I want to say God bless you too. And thank you very much for those comments. And very, very much. Thank you for those comments, Wambui. Thank you very much. Thank you. We end this session now. And we want to say God bless you. You check on the notes and we'll be able to get back to you. And thank you.
You are currently the only person in this conference.